Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Thursday at 7:30, and this is Beams. We're a live online music series, and we are put on by ASU Care, a division of ASU Cultural Affairs. And while we can't have audiences in the venue right now, we miss you, and we miss having artists and shows, and we've been doing these since April, and are just so happy that we get together in any way possible to share all the wonderful work of Arizona artists and let you get to know them a little bit better. We're going to hand it over to Riccardo in just a bit, but we do want to tell you about some upcoming shows we have, and there's quite a few of them. Next week, we're going to have Elizabeth Ersick. She is a sacred music performer. She plays the cello, she plays keys. She'll be doing a multimedia set with some beautiful video that she shot in Sedona, and we're going to get to know Elizabeth for an hour next Thursday on October 29th. We'll be kicking off the November Beams on Thursday, November 5th with Sonrisa. We've missed having jazz in the venue so much, and we're happy to have these three guys. They performed here last at Care as a 5-piece, but they'll be a trio on this night. Some of the Valley's best players are in this combo, and they're going to be performing all original music that three of them have written. We'll be going back to our 7 p.m. time in November, so we hope you will join us the way you've joined us tonight. And you'll be able to tune in for some jazz direct from the venue, online only. We're excited to hand it over to Riccardo tonight. He's from Long Island, but now based in Arizona. He's had a ton of music out and does have a new record coming out. He's going to be performing some older ones, some newer ones, and we're going to get to see what Rob's all about for about the next hour. We hope you'll send in your comments and questions. Please keep it positive, and we'll be dropping some links so you can learn more about Rob and maybe buy some music. So for about the next hour, Riccardo.
Right. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'm going to get started with an older one. If you are familiar with my music at all, this is one you probably know. This song's called "Let It Breathe."
Times I know it gets tough. You lie in bed at night wondering if you're enough. Well, trust me now when I say you are. But no matter what, this life at times will break you apart. So if your world gets heavy and your fire burns low, your road gets rough and your heart runs cold, let it breathe like the wind through the trees. Let it flow with ease like an ocean breeze. Take it all in. Yeah, let it all out. Take it all in. Yeah, let it all out. So if your day gets crazy, I don't think there's nothing that you can do. Yeah, when your day gets crazy, just find their calm within you and let it breathe like the wind through the trees. Let it flow with ease like an ocean breeze. Take it all in. Let it all out. Take it all in. Let it all out. Yeah, let it breathe now. Let it breathe now.
All right. I can hear the silent applause over where you guys are, so thank you guys so much. So I actually have a screen in front of me, so I'll be able to answer questions as they come in. And yeah, so thank you again to everybody who's joining in here. I'm gonna continue to play some of the older ones. I've recorded a lot of, this year alone, it's been a weird year, but it's been actually pretty creatively lucrative, I guess you could say. I just today wrapped up my 3rd album in 1 year, so which will be album 6, and I'll put it out in January. But I'll play some songs off that a little later. But this next song is an older one that is kind of ocean themed, and the entire new record has more of an ocean theme. As they mentioned, I'm originally from Long Island, so this song's called "Afloat."
All the seekers and the dreamers wondering where this journey's lead, questioning your place and purpose. I promise you it's worth it. The ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, simply how this story goes. This narrative that we live is ultimately positive, and I will float this deep blue sea that's raging within me, and I will navigate this dream. It's keeping me from sleep, and I will sail to where I want. Got my soul, I got my heart, like a boat off the coast. I will keep this dream afloat. I'll keep this dream afloat. Yeah. A lot of things that I've been told, all the lies that I've been sold. You can't do this, can't do that. Gotta be like this, don't be like that. Well, I'm an optimist at heart. I see this world as a work of art. Both the painter and the captain steer the ship, and I make it happen. And I will float this deep blue sea, raging within me, and I will navigate this dream, keeping me from sleep. And I will sail to where I want. I got my soul, I got my heart, like a boat off the coast. I will keep this dream afloat. I keep this dream afloat. I will keep this dream afloat. Oh, 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 I will keep this dream afloat. Sink or swim, have gone all in. I keep my head above the water and look within. Whoa, whoa. I will keep this dream afloat. I'll keep this dream afloat. I will keep this dream afloat.
All right. That was "Afloat" off my 2nd album called "Seeker," which came out in 2018, I think it was. So we have a couple of questions here, so let me read them. off. If I could see them. As you can tell, my eyes are perfect with these glasses. So Chris says, where are your favorite places to play music outside of a performance venue? That's a good question. You know, actually, in the mountains of Colorado is where I like I said, the new album is very ocean themed, and I wrote all but one track. I wrote it in the San Juans, which is a sub-range of the Rocky. So in the Rocky Mountains out near Telluride and Silverton. So I bring my travel guitar with me, and I have this carbon fiber guitar, and I bring it. It's my wife and my dog, and I wrote a bunch of songs out there. And I always bring my guitar when I'm out, when I'm camping. And then growing up, I would always bring my guitar to the beach. So those are my two favorite places to play. Yeah, my carbon fiber acoustic goes with me pretty much everywhere. So, and Marlene has a question. So who would be my dream artist to collaborate with? Oh, that's the $1 million question, because if you ask me tomorrow, it'll be different from what I'll say now. But dream artist to collaborate with? Oh, that's a good question. I guess it would have to be probably Ben Howard. I'm a big Ben Howard fan. But he's pretty aloof, so I don't know how much he likes to collaborate, if he would even consider it. He's kind of a big deal. So, but Ben Howard or Alexi Murdakas, those are two of my favorite acoustic-based artists. I mean, they play electric stuff too, but yeah, those would be my choices. I'm sure I'll get home and my wife will tell me, what about this? You always say you want to collaborate with this person, but it always changes. There's so many producers and artists that really excite me. And yeah, now you got my mind running around. Ben Howard, awesome, right on. So I'll get to some more of those questions after this next song, but this is, I wrote this song in like 20 minutes. It's one of those songs that kind of, some songs take a couple years, and other songs just kind of just like fall out like right on the floor, and you're staring at it, and you're like, wow, thank you for that gift, universe. So this is one of those songs from the latter. This is a song called When Will I Learn, and it's on my third album, The Fire in Me.
Guess I forget that I got all the answers, and I forget that I've got all I need, and I forget that the path isn't easy, and what I seek is already in me. When will I learn that I've got this? When will I trust the process? When will I learn, yeah, that I've got this? When will I learn? Trust the process. There are days that I lose my belief, and there are days I lose touch with my soul. There are days when the fire inside me is nothing more than embers and smoke. When will I learn that I've got this? When will I trust the process? When will I learn? learn that I've got all I need? When will I learn that I'm already free? When will I learn that I've got all I need? When will I learn that I'm already free? When will I learn that I've got all I need? When will I learn that I'm already free? When will I learn that I've got all I need? When will I learn that I'm already free?
All right, thank you, guys. All right, a couple more questions over on the board here. So, Linda, where on Long Island are you from? I am from Suffolk County in this little town called Oakdale. It's on the South Shore. I grew up in like the coolest like little neighborhood, like right off the Great South Bay. So like there's a bunch of canals that come off the bay, and I grew up right across the street from one of those canals. So going like on the boat and going to the beach and going surfing was like a huge part of my life growing up. So, but yeah, little town called Oakdale. And Marlene, who or what inspires your art the most? Another great question. Man, there are a lot of things. I would have to say it's like, for me, I've written so many songs over the years, but when the music started to make sense to me, it was like, or things started to start to click. It was kind of like writing songs about just like, it sounds cliche, but like the journey of like my life, and like, because I learn about myself through the process of writing a song. You know, that is the number one inspiration. And then, as you can tell from the metaphors I use in my song, a lot of like outdoor-based metaphors. Again, I mentioned the ocean 1,000 times, and I'll mention it another 1,000 times. But, you know, the ocean and the mountains and going to the canyon. Like, I've written a dozen of my songs like while like running in the Grand Canyon, pull my phone out and kind of hum a melody. So being out in nature, being out in the elements, it just pulls it like turns you're not on your phone, but it turns all the noise off, and you can really like connect with what I call like the muse that kind of just feeds you the song, and you have to be like ready for it, and have no attachments to what may or may not come creatively. But that's been so much a part of my process, and I think that's why I've been able to write and record. My credo is like write, record, release, repeat, and I just like love the process of making the music, and I record everything now at my home, like by myself. So it's just a complete surrender to that process. So yeah. A little bit of a tangent there, but maybe I answered some other questions that you might have been thinking. So, Linda says she's from Calverton. I am familiar with that town, but not, for some reason I can't think where it is exactly on the island. But I actually have I don't know if you can see, I actually have Long Island tattooed on my arm. I got that when I was 25, and my parents didn't like that, but they're okay with it now. So. That said. Here's a song. Here's a song off the new record. So the new album was going to be called "Kid from the Sea," and up until about 24 hours ago, I changed the name because "Kid from the Sea" is the first single that came out, and I'll play that later. It's in a different tuning. The entire album is in open C, with the exception of this song. And right now, for the guitar geeks out there, I'm in standard tuning, so I'm going to play this song before I switch over in a little bit. This song's called "Wave the Ocean."
While wind blows the way it wants to, while the light across the bay just does its thing, the storm that's slowly growing on the island wreck a weaker man and drown him in his dreams. That's the way of the ocean. That's the way of the water. No matter the absence or the presence of the sun, all the rogues are gonna come. That's the way of the ocean. That's the way of the ocean. You can take your best laid plans and raise them up and say else. Steer your ship on course with good intentions. But a fool is all you'll be if you keep challenging the deep instead of learning how to roll with all its punches. That's the way of the ocean. That's the way of the water. No matter the absence or the presence of the sun, all the rogues are gonna come. That's the way of the ocean. That's the way of the ocean. That's the way of the ocean. That's the way of the water. No matter the absence or the presence of the sun, all the rogues are gonna come. That's the way of the ocean.
I just realized that was the first time I played that live. Well, not in my apartment, singing it for recording purposes. So that's cool. Always cool to see how that song's gonna live in an acoustic setting. I mean, the majority of my music is very acoustic based, and the new record is no different. There's electric guitar during that breakdown part. There's electric guitars and stuff come in, but yeah, that's a single off the new album that'll be out on a week from tomorrow, on October 30th, Way of the Ocean. That'll be single number 2 of 3, and then the album will be out in January. But anyway, so yeah. So I'll play a couple more in standard tuning before I jump into the new, some of the new stuff that's in Open C. But first, we've got a question here from Khan. What other instruments do you play? Which one is your favorite? Oh, great question. So I play guitar, bass, and drums, and I dabble on the keys, and I play, those are my main instruments. I would say guitar is my favorite instrument, but the beauty of like recording all the instruments on my albums is that like I get to play the drums when I have like a drum focused record, or I get to play all the different guitar parts, and I get to play bass. Bass is one of my favorites to record. But so if I grew up as a drummer though, so I'm a drummer at heart that just taught himself how to play guitar. Literally as like my Spotify bio, or as even the bio that's probably below this video says, like my friend Anthony, who I grew up with, was a huge Blink-182. We were all big Blink-182 fans, and I was a drummer, and he got his guitar, and he started taking lessons, and all the kids were like, "Wow, he's playing guitar. He's learning, all the small things on guitar." And he would go to the beach, and he would bring his guitar. I couldn't bring my drum set, so you're not really cool at the beach with drumsticks and a drum pad, but I tried. And we were at my friend's house, and he bet me that I could learn how to play the songs that he was playing, these Blink-182 songs. And I said, I'll show him. So I mowed 5 lawns for $20 a pop, and I bought a $99 guitar. And I taught myself all of that summer, and he was ultimately right. I quit, and it wasn't for like another 8 months before I gave guitar another shot. But yeah, up until that moment, I was a drummer, and it's still my favorite instrument because of what it does for me as a guitarist. It taught me, it gave me a great sense of rhythm, and especially when it comes to an acoustic guitar, as you'll see with some of the later songs I play, like an acoustic guitar is really like a drum with strings in a lot of ways. Yeah, I'll end that tangent, but that's a great question, and it's important to like kind of see how other instruments can help you play, guitar differently just by learning different rhythms. So without further ado, I'm gonna play a couple more. This next song is another one of the more popular ones based on streaming and stuff like that. So and unlike Let It Breathe, Let It Breathe, I was like, if one song might become popular, it might be that one. This one was a complete surprise to me. This one's also off my first album. It's the first track on my first album, and it's called Adventure of Me.
I'm not gonna lie, some days I miss the tide and the scent of a saltwater breeze coming over me. But I have no doubt that where I am right now is right where I'm supposed to be. This is the journey of the soul, it's the adventure of me. No matter what I'm told, I know that I am free from my own way, flowing my own sea, chasing my own dreams on this adventure of me. I've traded hurricanes for monsoonal rains, and I learned that I have no idea what's next. It could be northern lights, Rocky Mountain highs. I learned to be open to anything. This is the journey of the soul, it's the adventure of me. No matter what I'm told, I know that I am free from my own way to flow in my own sea, chasing my own dreams on this adventure of me. Whoa, yeah. What are you searching for? Oh, oh. Are you looking for the sycamore? Ooh, 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 ooh. What are you searching for? Oh, oh. Are you looking for the sycamore? This is the journey of the soul, it's the adventure of me. No matter what I'm told, I know that I am free to roam my own way, flow in my own sea, chasing my own dreams on this adventure of me.
All right. So we got another question up here, also from Con. What advice do you have for young people looking to become musicians? Yeah, I mean, it sounds obvious, but it's there's a few different things I'd say. But first and foremost, it's just play. Like, there's nothing, especially nowadays with technology and the way that the entire like record industry works. Is like there are no more gatekeepers. So there's no difference between somebody picking up a guitar or a keyboard or a drum pad tomorrow, like you're instantly a musician. So just start that journey. I would just, the sooner you could start that journey, if you're somebody that is thinking about maybe like learning an instrument or starting to write your own songs, I highly encourage you to write your own songs. I mean, covers are great, but this is gonna be a side tangent, but I think I think it might be helpful for some of you people out there that are wondering about songwriting, and that's it's like in art. I remember like in art class in school when we would learn like Van Gogh or Picasso or Monet, like we would have to like copy their paintings to like learn pointillism or oil-based painting and yada yada yada. And I think that's what playing covers is when you start. But when you start to if you can't just paint a Van Gogh your entire life. You have to like go, okay, like I learned taking these tools from what I learned, and how can I write my own song? So to take it one step further, if you're a musician, like how do you become like a songwriter, like an original songwriter? It's like just start. Just start writing those songs. I wrote hundreds, if not thousands, of songs that nobody will ever see. I don't even want to see them again, but you have to start somewhere. But yeah, just start and enjoy the journey. It's fun. It's called playing music for a reason. So, Shannon. Oh, hey Shannon, how's it going? Shannon's a friend of mine that lives in Oregon. What has been the greatest gift learning of 2020 for you? Wow, this has been a year for everybody, I'm sure. Well, I could take up the next. I have a countdown here, and I could take up the next 27 minutes and 27 seconds to answer that question. But I think the biggest the lesson for me, it was like just like slowing down. Not that I was going like so fast before, but I was looking at life only through the lens of how to make it in music. Because up until January of this year, I was always working a day job, and this is a couple months before the pandemic. I was on a little adventure with guitar. I was on a little tour around the West Coast and Canada, and then the pandemic shut everything down. So I had to learn to stop looking at life through just this one lens of music, which is the only lens I knew how to look at life through since 2017 when I released my debut. Because I've been playing music since I was 15. I'm 32 now, so 17 years with a little bit of a hiatus in there. But ultimately, the lesson is to don't miss life. Like, music actually isn't everything as much as it is everything for me in my head. I mean, I love hiking and running and being outside all the time, and I was sacrificing so much. And this year basically was like, hey, you're not going to go on these tours across the country, and you're not going to do this. So I learned actually that I like being home more. So that's something I'm gonna have to figure out. But yeah, it's looking through life through the whole lens and not just a singular focus. Goals are great, but I realized that me personally, I think I had my blinders on a little bit too much for the last few years. So anyway, thanks for that great question. But yeah, I've never been better now. So in case anybody was worried, this song is also off my second record. I wrote this one in Hawaii, and it's called Deep Connection. Basically, while I was out on the island of Molokai, I learned a bunch of cool things, learned a bunch of cool stories from like the Native Hawaiians and friends of Native Hawaiians, and kind of morphed all of that into this story. But it's really about connecting with any place, whether it's the islands of Hawaii or the Grand Canyon or the Rocky Mountains or the beach somewhere else, like Long Island. It's about connecting. And I mean, talk about a year where connection in a lot of ways has been taken away from us. But so yeah, this one's for Hawaii.
Breath of the island easy as I drift in the deep blue sea, and I now above the surface, taking in that beauty while the sun is shining. Well, this is all I need. I root down to the ocean bottom. Well, I can feel that heat at the core of Pachamama, Earth and all we see, creating land above, with the fire underneath. Yeah. I've been looking for a deep connection, and here that's what I found. This silent shares her lessons on sacred ground. Let go and open up, deep connections all around. Yeah. He said, dive into the cleansing bliss of a waterfall, receiving the gifts of the Spirit. Can you hear their song, singing of our love for the land in the mighty sea? And now we'll wash it away in the waves of that eastern bay, giving thanks to the first protectors in their sacred ways, energy of their ancient prayers, what we need today. Yeah. I've been looking for a deep connection, and here that's what I found. This silent shares her lessons on sacred grounds. Let go and open up, deep connections all around. Yeah. This is how it was, how it used to be. Connect to the island, she will set you free. This is how it was, how it used to be. Connect to the island, she will set you free. This is how it was, how it used to be. Connect to the island, she will set you free.
It takes me to Hawaii every time I play that. So it's it's always in my set list. So that's Deep Connection. If you're looking for that, it's on album 2 called Seeker. So, all right, I want to thank you guys again for joining in. I'm gonna play one more off the quote unquote older stuff, and then we'll jump into a couple of the new, very new ones. So this next song is from my third album, and it's just like When Will I Learn, which I played earlier. This song is one of those that just kind of just fell out. It came in like 20 minutes or so, and I think to this day lyrically it's one of my favorites, and it's about always showing up for yourself in life, and just life is about, just like Shannon's question earlier, like this year is a big, this year in itself is just like one big lesson after another. And life is about growth, at least I think it is. It's about your own personal growth and how you can keep calling yourself out to just become a better person than you were the day before. And it's constant work, and that's what the song's about. That's what this song is about. This song is called The Work. So And it all started from the opening line. I go to battle with my doubts, wage a war with my ego. I had that like seed line in my head for a bit, and then the rest of the song, it just kind of opened the doorway, and the other verses and chorus came out. So anyway, here's the work.
I go to battle with my doubts, wage a war with my ego. I try to feed the good and starve the evil. All of these things that I've faced before, they seem to come right back and ask for more. I won't run away, away, away from them, 'cause I can't hide from all the things that live within. So I will rise above the fear and let them in. And it's gonna hurt, but that's the work. It's gonna hurt, that's the work. I keep reminding myself that I've got the key, and I'm the only one who can set me free. I can beat the demons and brave the storm, even if they manifest in another form. I won't run away, away, away from them, 'cause I can't hide from all the things that live within. So I will rise above the fear and let them in. And it's gonna hurt, that's the work. That's the work. That's the work.
That's the work. All right. So got a couple questions up here. So I'm gonna answer them in a sec. I'm dropping down to I like to tell, I get so many questions when I like, oh, what tuning are you in? So if anybody happens to play guitar, this is when I go to open C, which is C, G, C, G, C, E. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way. But I love playing in this tuning. Apologize if you can hear me tuning out there. This is a tuning I got from, if anybody's familiar with John Butler Trio, a lot of John Butler's songs, especially his famous instrumental called Ocean, lots of ocean here, is in this tuning, open C, Celtic open C, I believe it is actually. So, yeah. So while I finish that up, Tracy's got a great question. It's a beautiful song. What book did you most recently finish, or favorite author? Oh, so that's actually a great question, because I usually don't read that much. I audiobook a lot, but I actually dove back into a Jack Kerouac book that I haven't read since college. I'm rereading it, Dharma Bums. So that is the most recent book, and I'm about to dive into The Sea Is My Brother, also by Kerouac, which was his first novel that came out posthumously. They found his the manuscript, and so. But my favorite book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And that is my favorite because in Adventure of Me and a couple other songs like The River and Until It Falls Away, you'll hear me mention sycamore. And in that book, the sycamore represents something. I won't give any spoilers, so I want to ruin it for everybody. But yeah, Paulo Coelho is probably my favorite author just because of that one book. But other than that, I was always a big Jack Kerouac fan. So, all right. I'll play a few more for you now. And so this song is what's going to be on the new album. And this song came out a couple weeks ago as a single. A song called Kid from the Sea. The new album is actually going to be called Light the Atlantic. And which I'll talk a little bit more about when I play the last song. But Kid from the Sea is kind of, it's like a self-titled song without self-titling it, because I'm just a kid from the sea living in the desert. So here we go.
Oh, so young, watching the sea swallow the sun, a rising light, painted with gold, fading at night. The day is done, the tide, it comes, the great South Bay, as calm as can be, with all the away. Black and white, beacon of hope, shining a light for me. And my dreams, just a kid from the sea, with a song in his heart, leaving shore, prepared to trust the stars. So here I go, sitting alone in the blue. What I've called home is fading away. Out of you, here I am. This is me, just a kid from the sea, with the song and guitar, leaving shore, prepared to trust the stars. So when you look back on all that you've done, what you've become, will you be a kid from the sea who followed his dreams? Yeah.
There you go, that's Kid from the Sea. So yeah, it was really fun recording pretty much, the entire record with the exception of one song in that tuning. It's a tuning that I've been playing around with since college, and it wasn't until pretty recently that I started writing. I never wrote lyrics over them. I always just do standard or half step down or drop D. So this next tune is not out yet, but again, it'll be on the new album. This will be one of the singles, and it'll be out in November, probably November 13th. And growing up, there's a there's a barrier island in front of Long Island called Fire Island, and there is a lighthouse there. And I'd read these stories. My parents got me this book called Robert's Tall Friend. It just happened to be the character the book was about. We had the same name, so they got it for me when I was a kid. And I remember hearing about these, the keeper of the lighthouse, the keeper of the light, and how, this person would have to constantly, back then it was just like basically like a giant candle wick, and they'd have to tend the flame so the boats out there would, they would know where they were, or they wouldn't run aground. And so while I was in Colorado with my wife and puppy, we were in our camper van, and I wrote so many of the new songs in the mountains there. And I woke up one morning before a hike, and I kind of wrote without my guitar. I just wrote down this song in very quickly, and then later that night I picked up my guitar and was like, well, let me put some chords to it. And this is Keeper of the Light, and it's using that lighthouse as a metaphor. It's about how we could be a beacon for each other. It's kind of like a sequel to an older song I have called Beacon, and this is a more chilled out song compared to that one. But yeah, here's Keeper of the Light, unreleased, debuting it, I guess.
Remember as a child, dreaming of the sea, spending many nights staring at the deep. I'd heard about the light and all its history, as someone would tend the flame to illuminate the scene. Brother, when it's dark, we need someone to be a lookout for the souls that ride the open sea. Sister, when it's dark, there's a beacon in the night, but it won't shine on its own without a keeper of the light. So brother, won't you be the keeper of the light, the keeper of the light, to guide us home. On the island of the fire, it can get so cold, cold that cut like knives. It could burn a man to stone. Despite the frigid air at midnight on the coast, someone would tend the flame to bring the boats back home. Sister, when it's dark, we need someone to be a lookout for the souls that ride the open sea. Sister, when it's dark, there's a beacon in the night, but it won't shine on its own without a keeper of the light. So won't you be the keeper of the light, the keeper of the light, to guide us home. Brother, when it's dark, we need someone to be a lookout for the souls that ride the open sea. Sister, when it's dark, there's a beacon in the night, but it won't shine on its own without a keeper of the light. So brother, won't you be, sister, won't you be the keeper of the light, to guide us home, to guide us home, yeah, to guide us home.
So that is it's Keeper of the Light. So I think I've got time for one more here, according to the countdown. Let me see. Let me peruse the comments, see if there's any final questions here. I think we're good. Yeah, so I want to thank everybody for joining and hanging out, asking some great questions and listening to me play. This has been the first time playing in front of not an audience, obviously, a live audience, but not playing at home. In the beginning of the pandemic, I was playing pretty regularly on Instagram, but once I started recording the album, that became my primary focus. But so it's just kind of the first time I had like a sound check, and I want to thank the amazing sound techs and ASU for having me. And it's been a complete honor and a pleasure for me to be out here and to play for all you guys. So thank you to ASU and everybody here. This one's a short one. It's kind of like the outro track on the album, and we'll see how it goes. This song's called Ocean Heart, and I had extracted a lyric from here to make the name of the album. So Light the Atlantic is the name of the album, and it'll be out in January, probably January 8th. But I still have to get to master it and upload it. But I want to thank you guys again. So I'll end with this new one. So here we go.
They may say I lost my way, that my compass broke, but I learned to read the stars to guide me home. And I may wander far, much farther than most, but tell me what's life if you never roam. So light up the Atlantic so I can see the coast. You know I'll always have an ocean heart, no matter where I go. They may say I lost my way, that my compass broke, but I learned to read the stars to guide me home, yeah. And I may wander far, much farther than most, but tell me what's life if you never roam. So light up the Atlantic so I can see the coast. You know I'll always have an ocean heart, no matter where I go. No matter where I go.
That does it. Right on time. Sweet. That's my TV background days getting me right out in commercial. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. My name's Riccardo. And hopefully I'll see you guys at a show next year.
Rob, Riccardo, thank you so much. That was exactly what we needed. If you were tuning to the debates, we were aiming strategically to give you a palate cleanser there, something uplifting and positive, and I think we definitely got that. Plus, such nice conversation. Thanks to all of your great questions. We really appreciate you tuning in tonight, doing something positive with your Thursday, and we hope you'll tune in for next week's show. Again, that show will be at 7:30. And we will have Elizabeth Ersick. But we also wanted to tell you about our other series that are happening now that we're back into the semester for ASU. We have a Coffee at Care series that's normally an in-person event on select Wednesdays. And those are not in person. Those are going virtual for the time being, but they are really going to be fascinating. The next one is going to be next Wednesday, and that's a morning show, 10:30 a.m. If you can't make it, they will stay up on our Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, so you can take a look at those. We're going to have Brian Damaris, the ASU Artistic Director of Music, Theater, and Opera, and he'll be talking about the invention of opera, kind of from its inception all the way on up to the Mozart stuff that we know and love. So we hope you'll tune in the same way you have tonight on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a show. And again, Elizabeth Ersick next week is going to be the Beam Series show, 7:30 p.m. Please tune in for that one. And we love hearing from you. Thanks so much for your great questions, and we hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you.